You got it.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Trina from TrinaDenise.com. You guys may have seen me all over Instagram. And I am here with my girl,
Jazz. And you guys may know me from J. Nicole Did It, or How Designs. And I'm here with...
It's your boy Barry. You may know me and Jazz. You may see her in the backgrounds of How Design Studios. But we just going to get into it. And I'm also here with my player partner.
What's up? What's
not
up?
a player.
My partner.
But he crush a lot.
I'm not. I sure do. I do crush a lot. But I'm not a player no more. Oh, what's up? What's up? This is HD.
You got to do it. You got to
Also
tell them
known-
what your name is.
Who is that? Who is that?
Also known as HD's. I'm a up and coming music producer from Queens, New York,
All right.
and just moved out here to Atlanta, eating this good food, and loving my good married life with my beautiful wife.
Good answer. Good answer.
Right, good answer, Alex. So, in case you're wondering why we're here, Barry and I, for those of you who know us, know that we're in a relationship, have been in a relationship for almost 10 years. It'll be this January. And Trina and HD are newlyweds.
Ow. 8 years. 8 years. We finishing each other.
Right. Y'all knew.
That was dope.
That's a new stuff.
But I think just as, because we're all like millennials, and for so long, like relationships and love wasn't like the thing to do. It was more like popular and shown to be like a player and like just chill out and do like your own thing.
That
and
single life. That
Yeah.
single life syndrome.
Love is a new wave.
There. That's what we're here for. To show, to make love cool again.
That single life, man. Dang. That's some shucks right
Word
there.
up. It's a lot of lonely nights when you're single.
Yeah.
Nigga.
What should we say next?
I was about to say, why are we acting like we don't know how to talk?
Guess you just got to give a little background.
I started off.
On mine.
So, me and Trina actually met online.
Can you not embarrass
Catfish.
me on this story?
Yo, we had the same screen name. My screen name was Fresh to Death 86.
My screen name was Miss Fresh to Death 205. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
And so we met in those AOL chat rooms. You know those down niggas, down bitches type chat.
Wait. Was that the name of the chat room?
Yeah, it was. And of course, I was a down nigga.
I was not.
You was a
I
down
was not
bitch.
a down bitch. I used to wear Juicy Couture velour sets. Y'all remember those?
What?
J-Lo velour sets with
yeah.
a side ponytail because I thought I was from New York, but I was from Alabama.
Yeah, we was super fly in our AOL profiles.
I need to see these.
Yo.
I need to see these.
You know how you get the alert when somebody come in the chat room?
Yeah.
So I got an alert from the AOL chat, and it said, Miss Fresh to Death has entered the room. So I'm like, Miss Fresh to Death? Who is this person with my screen name? So I looked at her profile pictures. I was
You're
like,
blushing.
oh, shit.
Yeah.
It ain't no microdome friendship. So I'm looking at her profile. You know, she from Alabama. And she repped all these cities like L.A. And I was like, oh, she traveled too? I was like, oh, she cultured.
She cultured.
So I'm looking at the pictures. I'm like, yo, she bad. So while I'm looking at her pictures, all of a sudden the iron pops up like, bring. I like your screen name. So
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, I
Shoot your
approached
shot.
him. I took my shot.
She was bold from the start.
That's what's up.
So, we kept in contact, and that I was like in 10th grade?
Yeah.
And
You were like, you just started driving, I think.
Yeah, 10th grade. And we just kept in contact. all throughout high school. And then I didn't see her until
You saw me that next year
it was
because I came to New York when I was in 10th grade.
so
I was 15. You 15 in 10th grade?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I came to New York in 10th grade and I met him in person.
I saw her for 15 minutes.
That's
It was
it?
15 minutes.
When
He
I-
had to go home,
Yeah. Because,
The lights had came on.
basically.
well, no,
Basically.
what happened was a close friend of the family had died.
Damn.
And I was a drummer at church, and they wanted a drummer for the funeral.
You had on a suit when I met you, I think.
I know exactly what I was wearing. I was wearing a yellow Brooks Brothers polo.
I
Shout out
remember
to
that.
Brooks
You're right.
Brothers.
You're right.
I was fly, kid. You know what I'm
Fresh
saying?
to death.
Man.
Fresh to death. I matched my
86.
screen there. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I saw it but it was like the best 15 minutes that because you know how you meet somebody and you instantly feel that connection.
Exactly.
It was I can be cliche and be like, yo, that was love at first sight.
Aw.
Nice.
But
Or love at first type.
yeah,
Ow.
Yo, hashtag love first
Love at
type.
first sight.
Don't take it. They got it already. Don't even- That's dope.
yeah, but it was the best 15 minutes of my life. And then I ain't see you for like another 2 years.
And then he started acting a fool on me, y'all.
2 years passed?
Yes.
Yeah.
So HD graduated and started college, and I was still in high school, I think. We lost touch, and we used to play like basically phone tag. He would come around and then not come around, and then fall off the face of the earth.
I
and
was
then come.
young, dumb, and
He
full
was,
of cum.
Yes,
Yo,
exactly.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But I was consistent. Like, I wanted to talk to him. I think when I met him, I told him we would be married one day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when we were I was like 15. I think I told him that.
Yo, she called me every day.
Was this the
Don't
house?
make
Was
me
this the
sound
house
like a
phone
stalker,
with the
though.
hot house phones on
No,
or the cell
I
phones?
think by this time we had cell phones.
But back in the day, we used to mail each other letters. Like,
Aw.
yeah.
Pen
like,
pal?
Mail.
I still got one of those letters.
Word?
Yeah.
You got to frame that.
Yeah.
That's
we
dope.
used to mail each other letters back
Yeah.
in the day. Like, I had a shoebox full of letters from him.
Wow.
And wait. When they used to wear tall tees, he sent me one of his t-shirts.
Hold on. I sprayed it with cologne to make sure, you know what I'm saying?
And I used to sleep in that t-shirt every night.
Yo, that's
Like,
what's
my
up.
mom was like, whose shirt is this? I was like, I don't know. I think it's my brother's. Like, no, this is definitely a whole nother person's shirt.
Aw.
But, yep. So that's us, I guess.
Yeah, that's the beginning.
That's
the
how y'all
beginning of-
started.
That's the first. I like to look at it like we met 3 times.
Right.
So that was like the first time we met. And then the second time we met, well, I guess it was met 2 times because after he stopped being stupid, because he was just doing the most, and he kept vanishing in and out of my life.
I was.
And I liked him. Like, I
soul-searching.
organically liked who he was. So I wanted to keep in touch with him. Finally, we both decided to meet up. Was this before you came to see me? When we met
met
in
for
Virginia? Or did we meet on Valentine's Day
We met on
first?
Valentine's Day first.
So, I had a house fire, and my house burned down. And for some reason, I called HD that night. Like, I was, like, exhausted. My family was in shambles. And I called him, and he actually picked up after years or months. I'm exaggerating.
Wow.
After months of playing phone tag with me. And he picked up, and he answered. And I, like, broke down on the phone with him crying. And he flew to Alabama to see me the next day.
Can I let y'all know the backstory? So
Right.
when she called, I was actually courting this other girl, right?
Oh, my God.
So
This is ridiculous. See, I told y'all he was playing games.
this other girl,
She should have cut you off that day. How the hell you go hop a flight to Alabama for another woman?
no, so listen, so we actually had a date planned. So
So full of it.
and this was like in the beginning stages of that, what was supposed to be a relationship.
It wasn't meant to be.
No.
And
Fuck that bitch.
What happened?
Damn.
Word.
He mine now. I got the ring.
So
Shots fired.
what
Pew,
happened?
pew.
She lived all the way in Rochester,
And I lived
Damn.
all the way in Alabama, and I still got him.
Can I finish my story? I'm married.
I'm
I
sorry.
married you, so you won.
Like, but I need to let you know.
Right.
I won.
Please let these bitches know.
I won.
He's
So-
mine.
It was like a no lie, like a hour drive, 2 tolls, but we had a date planned for like 8:00 at night. So I cleaned my car, washed my car, you know what I'm saying? Had everything shampooed. I was looking good, smelling good. Make sure my date was set night, right? So what happened was my rearview mirror just came off.
Oh, snap.
So I'm like struggling to put this mirror back on, and I'm calling her like, I'm sorry I'm late, but I can't drive without no rearview mirror. And she's like, it's okay. Maybe we can reschedule. So I'm like, nah. Let me just fix it. But I don't know. Maybe it's I was inexperienced, but I just could not get it.
Damn.
Like 30 minutes turned into an hour turned into 2 hours, 2 hours turned into 3 hours. And then I got the phone call from Trina. So I was just
While you was in the car.
while I was in the car trying to fix the mirror. So I was just like, I called the girl back. I was like, yeah, let's just reschedule. Talking to Trina. She crying on the phone. I'm like, she was like, yo, can you come down? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to come down. And my mom was at choir rehearsal. So I went to the church. They was wrapping up. And, at the end of choir rehearsal, everybody prays. So I was like, yeah, my friend in Alabama, her house just burned down. So I just appreciate all the prayer and love, you know what I'm saying?
Dope.
So, and
His mama was probably like, what friend?
Yeah.
Right. In Alabama.
Exactly.
but I had to say it at church so I could come down there.
So that's an excuse. Oh, okay. Got it.
that was smooth though.
But he
My
came the
friend.
next day, y'all. And I remember, not even, when I asked him to come, I was like, he not going to come. But he was like, I'm coming. Here's my flight information. I went and got him from the
Damn, that's a turnaround
airport.
flight, bro.
He came in 24 hours.
Wow.
And I was like,
Yeah.
dang, he must really care about me, And we had never had a relationship. We never been around each other. We never spent more than 24 hours.
So y'all just
together.
had that only memory of 15 minutes.
Yes, from when we were 15 and 17 years old. So that was the last time I saw him in person. And he came to Alabama for 24 hours. And
Yep.
it happened to be Valentine's Day weekend.
Yep.
So we got to spend Valentine's Day together
Yep.
for 24 hours. He took me out. We went to dinner. And I don't even think we had sex that night. I was just so
Yeah, I was trying to get it, y'all.
but I was just
I'm like, yo, sex was involved. I was like, after he done risked his life. He went across the, across the
Yeah.
state.
we might have. Did we have sex that night?
We had sex. We definitely had sex.
Dang.
He was like, I ain't hop no
That
flight
makes
and not
for
get no ass.
And that makes me sound like a true thought.
Listen,
That was love right
everybody
there.
had that time period in life.
Yeah.
But he was your husband.
he
You
was.
said it
And
when
I
you
knew
was
it.
15.
I always knew he was my husband. So I felt like God was kind of looking out for me and giving me a pass on the low.
He worked for
It's
it.
all right. Throw that thing back.
Right. Throw that ass to the
He worked for it. He
One
like, you know
good
what?
time.
He jumped on a
Right,
flight.
he did. And
Shit.
flights to Alabama are expensive.
Yeah.
So,
Hella expensive.
Next
so,
day
yeah.
flight.
He
too.
flew to Alabama, and then he spent Valentine's Day with me, and then he went back home. And then this nigga fell off the face of the earth again. So that was our second time meeting.
Hit it and quit.
And yeah, pretty much. Thanks, Barry. That makes me feel amazing.
But you got the ring though.
But I got the ring. This is awful. Talking about this out loud.
You really won though. You just had to go through a couple of mountains.
I just had to, yeah. This was what's the name of the Hunger Games?
yeah.
Had
You
to
a
kill
tribute.
everybody else. Exactly.
Yeah.
But the third time we met, it was always me. I felt like I always pursued HD. He would always respond, but I definitely was like, this is what I want. I was aggressive, I guess,
You didn't
Super
take no
aggressive.
for an
Yeah, I
answer.
didn't take no for an answer. You my boyfriend.
Yes.
So I remember reaching out again, always, and it was never anything harsh. I would just be like, hey, thinking of you, how you doing? And sometimes this nigga would write me back.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, he was in the mood, I guess. So he hit me back, and I was like, hey, I'm going to Virginia soon. You want to meet me halfway? And he actually was like, yeah, I'll drive to Virginia. So I took off work. I think I was working in the mall at the time. And I took off work and we drove to Virginia. Like, we met halfway in Virginia and we spent the weekend of 4th of July together. Mm-hmm. And it was only like 2 days, I think.
Yeah.
He got us a room, spent the whole day together. We went out to eat. And I remember, like, wearing this little bitty black dress. It wasn't little bitty, but
She was fine.
oh,
Fine.
Wait, is this the picture? I think, and you had on like a plaid shirt.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
So that was
What?
on the way back home.
Okay.
And on that trip, like I always knew he was the one, but I knew when he told me he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. He was like, this feels right. This feels like home. Like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
So the reason why I was playing so many games, because in my mind, I didn't really think.
Let me let y'all know
long-
I'm not an ain't shit nigga.
Listen, man.
See what happened.
As a fellow New York nigga, a lot of stuff happens up there. You know what I'm saying? You hustling, busting,
Oh,
you doing
my
your thing.
goodness.
Time goes by fast.
So, sidebar. I just want to let y'all niggas know that females hate this shit. Can y'all get yourself together, please?
Hello.
It's not that we know we not together. We actually being honest.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing
Meanwhile,
was,
we're falling in love and losing our freaking
Losing the
hair
damn
and
mind.
not eating or overeating. And
I didn't know if this girl was playing games with me.
See, you don't know.
I didn't know this girl from a hole in the wall. So in my mind, I'm like, it's a long distance relationship. I don't know who she got out there. You know what I'm saying?
You
I
gotta
definitely
you gotta
had a
protect
team
yourself.
of niggas
You know what I'm
lined
saying?
up just in case.
Let's not get it twisted.
See?
Number 8, you in. Come on, let's go.
So I'm like, but that time when I went to Virginia, I felt it. I was like, yo, I might spend the rest of my life with this girl.
He was scared too. I could feel that he was like,
Yo,
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
And the craziest part, we was in Olive Garden, and she went to the bathroom before we got seated. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sitting at the table waiting for her to come back. Yo, she came back floating on fucking clouds. Like, she looked like she had like a halo and wings.
I did.
Like,
I had a halo.
she was bad. Like, she was bad. Not saying you're not bad now, but she had
it,
that.
baby.
Clean
Yo.
this up.
Clean it up.
I was just saying, like,
He's like, my boys ain't gonna believe this, yo. Like, damn.
yo, she had like this sexy ass black dress. I'm like, God damn. So I was like, I'm in at the table, like looking her in the eyes, like
He didn't
got
break
my
eye
arm
contact.
wrapped around. So I'm like, yo, I might need to make this happen. So I was just like, yeah, I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
And that's where everything started. So
Yeah.
from that point, we were in like a long distance relationship for about 4 years, I
Yeah.
think.
Wow.
And it was hard. That was probably the hardest thing.
Hard and expensive.
Hard and expensive, like flights, and HD would come and see me by any means necessary, like 16-hour bus rides.
And this was before I got cool with the parents.
Yeah.
So we was like spending money on hotels.
Yeah, we would sleep in
Wow.
hotels.
Oh, wow.
Did your
And-
parents know you was that?
Yeah, they knew. I mean, we were very like, well, my folks knew. I don't know about HD, but
No, they really.
nah, they
They just thought I was in my friend's house.
Yeah, no, they
Well, my parents had like one rule, like just let me know what you really are so I can come and save you if I need to.
Gotcha.
So I always, I let my mom know. I didn't necessarily tell my dad, but
Yeah, you can't tell pops.
but we would go see each other, and then it just got really expensive, and finally I was like, Mom, he gonna have to stay here because we can't afford a hotel anymore. So my parents were cool with him staying at our house. We had to sleep in separate rooms, but
sure
we
did.
always
Yeah.
wandered off into a back room somewhere.
It was Trina's fault, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What you mean?
I
Y'all
think we might
wandering
have got
off.
caught like once or twice.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Fucking?
we got.
Nah.
Not necessarily.
I'm about to say,
Not,
damn.
no. We did get caught having sex one time. It was just my mom. Like, we were upstairs, and she wasn't going to come up the steps. So we had to, like, stop really quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
she'd be like,
she would come and open the door, and then we would just, like, freeze. Like, I would just stop pouncing at that point. And then then she would close the door back, and it's like, oh fuck.
Now how am I gonna get from down these stairs? This is awkward.
Yes. And then, y'all, let me tell you this. So my grandmother used to live with us.
Oh, Lord.
And she had dementia, and she was like a bed patient, and her room was right next to mine.
Oh my goodness.
So sometimes
Oh shit.
when HD would sneak into my room and we would like have sex or whatever. Oh my goodness, I hope my mama don't listen to this.
This is for you, mama.
This is why I said, what's off limits?
Nothing.
Sometimes my grandma would hear us and she would be like making like, she'd be like, who is that? Like, who? You okay? Like,
My man. As I give HD a pound.
my goodness. So it would actually like wake her up out of her sleep. But then she had dementia, so then it just go away in the morning.
She probably thought it was a
didn't
movie.
remember-
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Did you not
She
feel
might
bad
have thought,
about that?
not really, because I would just be like, "Hey, grandma, how you doing?"
Probably thought you changed the channel or
She
something
might
by
have thought it
mistake.
was herself, like
You know?
you know, maybe it was like a old,
Yeah, old memory.
Memory,
Like,
you know.
man.
yeah. So
That's hilarious.
so that's us. We were long distance for 4 years.
Yeah.
I tried to live in New York. I hated it, and I finally like convinced him, like, let's just try Atlanta. And then we came down here like 2 years later, and here we are. We love Atlanta, right, babe?
Yep.
Dope.
Yep.
Happy y'all here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now we know our BFFs, Jazz and Barry.
Right.
yeah.
All right, the coolest couple on the planet.
Yes, the freaking coolest
we,
couple.
we try. You know what I'm saying? We just
Yeah.
try to.
So I need to know how this whole situation.
Shit, we got a couple
happened.
versions of this, man. But we gonna try to.
We don't have like a nice lovey-dovey.
Well, I know when I
Captain, he
met
came and
Jazz, and she was like, my boyfriend's going to come, because Jazz was actually, well, I met Jazz first.
Yeah.
They did our wedding. They did the video for our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember when I met Jazz, Jazz told me her boo, well, she said my partner, excuse me, because she didn't want me to know that that was her man.
Yeah, because we were on this whole, we're not telling people we're together because of this.
Whatever.
We didn't want, you know,
She
to hurt
was
the business.
like, my partner is coming to meet with us next week.
Yeah.
And then,
That's how you said it?
Yeah, I was like,
That's funny. That's funny.
'cause I
Yo,
was
my nigga. You held it down. Like, yeah, that's what's up.
but I was like, what kind of partner? Like, I needed to know. So she told me it was her boyfriend eventually. And then
Yeah.
when
She was
Barry
like-
came up,
She
I
probably
was like,
thought, well, you were a lady or something? My partner?
I was like, because I'm in my head the whole time, like, now how, every time, like, it's hard because we
Yeah,
have
and
a
you didn't
business
know me
together.
then.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then I feel like we felt like people, if you say, oh, well, this is my boyfriend or this is my girlfriend versus this is my
don't
business
take you
partner.
seriously.
They don't take you seriously.
Right.
So I didn't want to be like, yeah, so my boyfriend, he go do the video. I didn't want to do that.
That would have
So-
sound bootleg. I would have been
Right.
like,
You
no
would've been
thanks.
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The meeting would have went completely different.
Yeah,
and
it
we wouldn't
would've.
be sitting here today.
Hit it with the partner.
But when I saw Barry, I was like, okay. I see you, Jazz.
He just popped his collar.
With the Hershey kisses.
Don't toot his horn. He'll tell you any day he's the uniform.
Yes.
Swear.
You gonna hear that quite often. I do say that.
Yeah.
I do say uniform.
What you mean in uniform?
Uniform.
Tall, dark.
Is typically
You the uniform
yeah,
too.
a tall, dark-skinned brother. You know what I mean? That that's what most women are attracted to. Most women are really attracted to white men. They don't want some tall, dark. Maybe a nice
And
goatee,
handsome.
maybe bald.
Tall, dark, and
Yeah.
They-
handsome.
Yeah.
that's-
Uniform.
No.
Yep.
Uniform. All right.
But
I'll
don't you
take
start saying that.
No.
He's a
not.
uniform.
No, he's not. He is so not uniform. He's like a big old teddy bear.
But he's tall, dark, and handsome.
He is. Okay.
They
That's
love
the
Then I'll
uniform.
take it.
That's-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so we have two versions of how we start our
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
you say your version. I interject with some
so
crazy stuff. All
my
right?
version, which is the truth. Well, not really. So I always just be like that. We met each other when I was out thotting and bopping, but I wasn't.
Not thotting and bopping.
I wasn't thotting and bopping. I was with friends who
Thank
were
God.
thotting and bopping
And you were just by default.
by default.
Guilty by association.
Birds of a feather.
Guilty by
I had
association.
thought friends. I
That's,
get
that's
that.
what it felt like. I was like, whoa.
But I met him.
You were the friend that sat on the couch while they did their dirty work.
I was the friend who sat on the couch. I was the friend who was cool with all the boys.
Yeah.
Like, that was me. Like, because I just chilled all the time. But I ended up, only reason I met him, I used to work at Six Flags. My mom was supposed to come pick me up from work. She didn't pick me up from work. A friend of mine picked me up instead, and they went down to the school that he was at the time. And we dropped her friend off at her boyfriend's dorm. So while we were waiting, we drove around in the AUC like for 10 minutes because it was these boys outside playing football.
What's AUC?
Atlanta University Center, like Clark Atlanta, Spelman, all that. It used to be open where you could drive around it. So we drove around for like 10 minutes because it was his roommates were outside throwing the football, and my friend.
Mind you, I just left maybe like 2 hours ago.
She was like, oh, they're cute. So we kept rolling around. Eventually we rolled around and they threw the ball in the middle of the street and like stopped the car. So we ended up hanging out with them while we were waiting for our friend. Fast forward, my friend ends up dating, and I'm putting this in quotation marks, but dating one of the people. And he got in a fight with Barry's roommate. I had met Barry at this point, but we had been hanging out with their friends for like 3 weeks at this time. And they got in a fight. The friend busted his hand. We ended up
How did he bust your hand, though?
He hit the brick.
Oh, man. They used to get into it a lot.
Yeah.
And, just had this little thing going on, just, a little feud. I wouldn't even call it a feud. They just was real competitive, talk shit. You know how niggas are.
Yeah.
So it was just, my roommate, not supposed to gotta stay on campus. I used to, commute back and forth to school from my mom's house and take the train, go downtown, and just meet up with him in the morning. But my friend, he had a whole room to himself. So I was like, yo, B, if you ever want to stay, just take the extra, spot. We made it the room, we hooked it up. It was dope. So I used to just chill there, you know what I mean, during the day. And if I had to go home, I, hop on the last train and just head back to the east side. And I came the next morning.
Because we had to spend the night. Because we stayed at Grady till 6.
Yo.
So we had to spend the night. His friend let me sleep in the bed because I was sleeping. I was about to sleep on the desk. Mm-hmm. But he was like, no, you can have the bed. So his friend let me sleep in the bed because he was getting up to go for school. But when Barry came in the door, like into the dorm room, I was getting out of the bed.
To my surprise,
and
man, they had some freaks. So I knocked on the door. I came in. I said, yo,
you thought she was a
they
freak?
got some freaks in here. I'm like, damn.
Like, good morning.
I missed the party. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You always leave early. They'd be saying that. I'm like, damn, they had some freaks in here? What's going on? So I seen Jasmine actually get out my homeboy's bed, and I was like, okay, they got girls getting out of the beds. I'm like, okay.
I had on clothes.
Yeah.
But I was just getting out the
Her
bed.
defense, she had on clothes.
Like
but
full
in my mind,
clothes.
I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Well, what went on here?
Would you say clothes don't stop nothing?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. He looked at me, and I'm like, oh, all right. That's what's up, my man. And so
we talked.
I agreed.
I don't even remember.
You know what I'm saying? I was as a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? I didn't treat her as such. I said, hi to her friend. How you doing, young lady? How you doing?
Then we all started talking. In some kind of way, we got on that both of us were cancers, and he hugged me. And in my head, I'm like, oh, he hugged me. He's cute.
I don't remember that happening the same day.
It happened the same day because I was like,
this is where the story turns.
Then the story turns. So then, like, we didn't see each other for a long time. I saw him. We hung out. I'm so weird. We hung out one day and it was like raining and I had this coat on and he was like standing in my coat and we was like walking around like just chilling and stuff.
All right, look.
And then
all right, look.
This is important because
wait, what you mean? You said he was standing in your coat?
All right.
Like we
like
were
y'all
like,
were sharing
we
the
were
coat.
like cuddled up and stuff.
She
like
had a jacket.
hanging. I had like this.
And I got in the jacket, you know what I'm saying, because it was raining. I'm not trying
And
to
it
get
was
wet.
cold.
I had good
He
clothes
was just
on.
trying to
No,
hug
no,
up.
no.
You know what I
He
mean?
was just trying to hug up
I
on
had
me.
good clothes on.
He was just trying to hug up
you know
on
what I'm saying? I
me.
held her waist a
You
little bit.
could have
during
stood
the day.
under the
You know what I'm
awning
saying?
if you didn't want to get wet.
Look, there's a lot of people under the awning. I was trying to get,
Fast
get
forward.
wet. Now fast forward.
Barry, don't fight
listen,
the feeling,
I'm
okay?
gonna let this out. You know what I'm saying? Because this is very important.
He had a girlfriend.
Oh.
Look,
You was like HD.
I was.
He had a full girlfriend.
Yeah, I was seeing somebody. My best friend has a relative that I was dating at the time.
Oh, my
Best friend's
God.
cousin.
Long distance.
It's
and
that nigga shit that I be talking about.
He got
you
ghosts.
know, I ran into Jazz. But it was for me. It was a friendly situation. There was nothing sexual about it. You know what I mean?
Now y'all tell me what friends is cuddling.
From my
up.
vantage point, it was no cuddle. It's just a friendly embrace.
Nigga, you was
You know what I
in
mean?
my jacket.
It was a friendly embrace. You know,
What
when
you
she
say,
had no
Jazz,
problem with.
in my jacket.
He was in my jacket.
You know, no kissing. It was nothing intimate to me. It was just a friendly embrace. We
In
just chilling.
jacket
You
is
in
very
my- you in my-
intimate.
That's so in my mind. I'm
That's
like, you know what?
personal
I'm
space.
safe.
You friend zone yourself.
Yeah, I friend zoned myself.
In his
I was
head.
safeguarded because I knew I was
Exactly.
I was in a bad spot. And I was like, you know what? I got to friend zone this.
Bro, I already know.
You know what I mean? So I said, you know what? I backed off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I didn't see him for a year.
Yeah, I did.
But
Yeah.
in between that time, like his friend, the roommate of his, was like, he was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, what's up with you and Barry? When he come back from spring break, we gonna hang, or from winter break, we gonna hang out." Never saw Barry for like a whole year.
Yeah, I didn't come back to school. I ended up going to a different school.
Yeah.
And
Never came back around.
I came back to see them here and there because I was the bootleg guy. I got the DVD.
Yeah.
So they're like, yo, B, you got to come with the movies, my nigga. It's going down. We got to need the movies, you know. So I just stopped by with the movies. At that time, I just finally got my car. So I used to come and drop movies off. And then I happened to see her again. Mm-hmm. And so I saw her briefly after I dropped my man's movies off. And she's like, hey, Barry, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. How you doing? But I'm in and out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was the move. In and out. She saw me. All right. You know what I'm saying? That's
So
what's
you
up.
knew what you was doing.
Lies.
Yeah. I knew what I was doing because at this time, things was already broken off with old girls. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I was free, so I wasn't really dealing with nobody at the time. So when I saw, everything was cool. In my mind, I ain't gonna front. I was kind of nervous. I saw, I was like, oh shit, what's up, Jack?
I was like, Barry,
she had the little braids. It was nice and looking cute. And I was like, what's up? Blah blah blah. So we rapped for a little bit, but I sort of had to bounce. She asked for my number. Again, I think she got my number off Facebook. Something happened, and we exchanged
She slid in your DMs.
contact at that point.
I stalked his ass because we used to be friends on MySpace, but then he didn't have
I used
MySpace
to
anymore.
Yeah, I got rid of that.
MySpace.
I got rid of MySpace
And
because I
then-
didn't want nobody track people.
Like what he was
people
doing.
be trying to follow you.
His
you know
crazy
what I mean?
ex-girlfriend.
A lot of people like to follow you, and I don't got time
Yeah.
for stuff like that.
So I found him. I don't remember how I found him, but I found him on Facebook, and then I wrote him, and it took him like almost 2 whole weeks before he wrote me back. But I remember
That's about right.
like yesterday because I was at school and we were in the computer lab, me and one of my friends, and he wrote me back, and I was like, what do I say? Like, what do I tell him now? Because I never ever approached anybody before. Like, I was always just, if you like me, you better say something, because I am not I'll like you and not say nothing at all. So that was my first time ever, like, being, I guess, forward.
Yeah, she put herself out there, and in this time, I was in between 2 other girls. Nothing sexual. I'm just gonna add that. You know what I'm saying? We was just talking.
Right.
You thought and bobbing.
You know what I'm saying? We were just talking.
He was starting it by
and so one girl I was talking to was at the school. Other one was at my homeboy's school nearby. So one day me and Jazz linked back up on Facebook. She hit me up, and she was just hey, what's going on? Blah blah blah. Where you been? I heard you was at such and such school, and blah blah blah. How you doing? So we just linked up and try to set up a little dating situation.
We couldn't talk on the phone because I didn't have a room phone at the time, and where I was at, I had T-Mobile, and T-Mobile didn't work on campus. So to talk to him, like my phone only worked in the top corner of my bed. So like the first time that we talked on the phone was for like 2 seconds. He called me when we was on the way out the door to I think I was going to like a study session or something like that. But we always used to play, you know how they have like pancake nights?
Yes.
When it's finals?
Yes.
That's what we were going to.
Yes.
So we were like always back and forth. But then I finally had got because it was midterms, I got a house phone right before we left for Christmas break. And I think the first time we talked on the phone until like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Those were the best.
Yeah.
Super
And-
long conversation.
Wow.
I was like,
That's how you know it's real.
Yeah.
Talking on the phone till the sun come up.
I was so nervous because I was like, I don't even know, because I had to call him. So in my head, if I call you, I have to initiate the conversation. So I was like, I didn't know what to talk to him about. I didn't know what he wanted, like, because before I had talked to him, I had met this guy. Like, I was just meeting a bunch of guys, and all they wanted to do was just have sex. And I was like, I'm not with that anymore. So I just started telling people, like, I don't do that. And, like, literally before I had, like, reached out to talk to him again, I had met this guy. We were talking, and then we were supposed to meet up and hang out. And then I called him, or we were texting before I went. And I was like, yeah, so what are we going to do when we go over? And he was like, we go chill and see what happens.
Have sex.
Basically. And I was like, I literally wrote him, I was like, I'm not having sex with you. And so then he just stopped answering me because I needed the address. So I was texting him. He ain't text back. I called him. This nigga answered the phone and was like, oh, I just got shot. I got to call you back.
What?
Swear to God.
Yo, when she told me that crazy ass story.
Swear to God. Like, put it on my granddaddy.
Time out.
Yes.
Just got shot, man.
That is
He was like-
that is so extreme.
He was like, I just got shot. I'm going to call you back. And so, when we were
Wait.
So when I was talking to Barry, like, that was almost, I think the first thing I led off with was like, yeah, so I'm not trying to have sex. I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to do that. And like the same things that I said I wanted was what he wanted.
It was right up my alley because I just got out of a relationship and I'm talking to other people and end up being a third girl in the mix, and I was just like, yo, I'm just really just trying to just chill, find myself in a situation. All right, y'all, we back. Brief intermission. Sister Law came through, but we back at it. So
Yeah.
pretty much what I was talking about, I was going through a point where I just wanted to just stop going straight into relationships, or because for me, I used to just, whoever liked me, I'm just with you now.
You was just going for
it
them.
was just one of those things. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna really take a step back and just see what happens.
And we go pause on that notion because what happened was,
These two sides are just
listen,
too much.
so Christmas break. Was it Christmas break?
Yeah, it was Christmas break.
I came home and he met me. Mind you, he lived in Stone Mountain. For those of y'all who are from Atlanta, you know where Stone Mountain is. But
AKA
if not,
far as fuck.
Far as fuck. And I lived in Cobb. So we literally lived like 45 to 50 miles away from each other.
Definitely.
On two sides of the
Definitely.
world.
Like east and west points, literally.
Definitely.
So he met me at Cumberland Mall, when we came back from, or I came from Christmas break. He met me at Cumberland Mall, and he couldn't find me in the mall. So when I walked up on him, he was at a kiosk, and the lady was
shit.
like, the lady goes, oh, she's trying to get him to buy like lotions and stuff. So I walk up to him, and she's like, oh, why don't you get your girlfriend some lotion? He was like, that ain't my girlfriend.
Hey,
What?
With the quick
Damn.
Listen, I was just keeping it real,
honest,
but I
at
didn't
first-
mean it in that minute. I just want to let the lady know, like, you're not gonna entice me to buy
Right,
nothing.
right.
I'm broke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just drove damn near 40
That's
miles
New Yorker in
to
you.
get here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shit, I don't even got food to get nothing to eat right now. I ain't put money in my gas tank. You know what I mean?
So we met each other, and then we walked around the mall for a little bit, and it was time. We were about to go, and he was like, do you want food? And so I took him to, my mama, she worked at Walmart, and it was their Christmas party that night. So I'm like, well, shoot.
That was clutch.
Let's
by
go
the
get
way.
free food.
Word.
Yo.
We don't have to spend no
No,
money.
luckily, but see, the problem is, and she didn't know this until later,
Yeah.
I didn't have any money. So my
So
move,
you fed him that night.
my move was gonna be, look, I'm gonna ask her as a gentleman, are you hungry? My move was gonna be like, yo, we go to Burger King right here, and I buy her a burger, and she said, you're not gonna. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I ate before I came.
Yep.
I'm chilling.
Go home and eat a peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, there we go. My mom had something probably when I got home. So I'm like, yeah, I'll be straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm already far. I had to take my GPS. I had an old school GPS that my stepfather gave me.
Tom.
It wasn't even
It was a
Tom.
Garmin.
It was some type of old Garmin. It was old. And I was already like on the side of town. I didn't know where I was. So I'm just trusting that, this girl I've been speaking to, shit gonna be all right. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, cool. So she was like, yo, now we don't gotta go nowhere to get, if paying to spend no money. My mom has a Christmas party going on. We could go there and get some free food.
Shit.
I swear, when she said that,
And Barry
my eyes lit up.
Listen.
And I felt like,
and I didn't even know.
yo, I might love her. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just like, I think I might have gave her a pound. Like, yo,
My nigga.
that's what's up. Yeah, let's go. And then last thing I was even thinking about, I'm meeting the moms. Because moms love me. So I didn't even care. I was looking forward. I'm like, yeah, I'll meet the moms.
My mama like everybody.
I'm a cool
so
brother.
That wasn't nothing.
So I wasn't even thinking about, I'm thinking about the food. And we about to chill. So I'll let Jasmine continue from there.
So we went to the Christmas party. He met my mama and my two of my sisters.
Yeah.
He met the twins. And then from that day, like I had Christmas breakfast for 2 weeks. We spent literally every day with each other for like that whole 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like he was driving back and forth from Cobb
You had to
to
see
Stone
her.
Mountain.
It was crazy because I worked every weekend. I was working up PRN at a lab in Gwinnett. So mind you, I lived in Stone Mountain. I worked in Gwinnett. And I just worked weekends, so it was just a little part-time gig. Well, not even part-time. It was just, shit, man, just every weekend, that was it. So, I went to school during the week, went to work on the weekends, and just had a little money for gas. And not even for gas, 'cause I had to pay a car note. So all my
Damn.
checks was going into the car. So how I was getting gas? All right. My mom gave me this gas card she gas credit card from BP. And she was like, yeah, you could use this. Just take it if emergencies, get some gas. And it was her personal credit card. It had maybe like $2,000 of gas, you know what I'm saying, credit line.
Yeah.
So
I wish y'all could see his face right
I'm
now.
I'm going all the way to the west side, Cobb County. That place that somebody told you don't go. But she lived out there. I was going making trips. And she kept asking. So I kept asking John to get some gas. Is there a BP?
You can only go to BP.
And she was like, why you always want to go to BP? Go to a racetrack? I said, no, I have to go to a BP. And I guess she just figured I just my favorite. Little does she know, that's the only way I get some gas.
I think at one point I told him, I was like, all gas is the same because my dad works in the petroleum thing.
I
So
need
I'm
BP.
like, my daddy said all the gas is
Not
the
for
same.
him.
So
Not for him.
I need BP, Jasmine. So even if he was out the way, I'm going there to get gas before I go home.
So you're going to
Yeah.
drive 10 minutes out the way,
to get gas
and go
to
home.
drive home. So I was just making those trips frequently. Sometimes I would just leave work
and come
just
straight
drive
out.
from Gwinnett all the way
Aw.
to her crib. I'll leave school, drive all the way out there, and sometimes I had to do homework. I had to do this. I wasn't even doing it.
Wow.
It was
you had to see
getting
her.
it was getting to the point where I was even skipping class.
Damn.
To go see
He
her.
did.
Yo,
skip
my dad
class.
was paying for school. I wasn't even going. I was telling Jasmine, yeah, my class ain't at this time. Little did she know, I just didn't go. So we was just chilling. Most of the time, then my mom was just like, she was getting crazy, like, yo, where you been hanging, you been going out, everything all right? You been going to school, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everything's
Been
good.
booed up.
I didn't know this because I
Nigga.
would have made him go.
Been
I
booed
wasn't
up.
going to class.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I end up flunking out. So I was fucked. So at that time, I was just working, trying to maintain because I was academic probation, and I was just like, oh shit. And then by that time, she had to go to. Well, I jumped, but long story short, I was just going back and forth for 2 weeks before she was on school break.
Yeah.
So that she had to go back to school. Then she eventually, talked me in to go seeing her at school. So she was just like, yeah, I go to school in South Georgia. And I'm just like, that don't even sound good. I'm from New York. I can't. What are we talking about?
You
I'm
skipped the part
I'm sure I skipped. Matter of fact.
purposely. I feel like.
All right. What did I skip, Jasmine?
So
What did I skip?
what he skipped was during our 2-week. I don't even know what to call it.
I know where we're going.
But during our 2-week love fest,
Your 2-week rendezvous.
Yeah.
I
right?
know where you're going with this.
Like,
I did skip that.
yeah, you did.
I forgot.
So, well, we went on our first date. It was like a group date. We went bowling. My ex-boyfriend at the time ended up showing up because his friends were there
With his brother.
with his brother.
And the goons.
Oh, what?
Dang.
But they were cool. They didn't do anything.
No, I didn't know what this was going on. So Jasmine showed with her best friend Tiara. Shout out T Breezy, Curvy Girl
Hey,
Chronicles, my
T.
nigga. So Tiara was there. Her other friend Crystal was Jasmine's the godmother for her beautiful children, and they were and she was there. And so they invited me. So we went bowling, and Jasmine's like, "Yeah, so we're just gonna be us. We chilling." I'm like, "All right, cool." Next thing you know,
We literally getting out the car
Get
to
out the
walk
car.
in, and I see their car, like my ex-boyfriend and like his brother,
brother.
their car like pull up. And
his
I'm like,
friends, they
what the
inside,
fuck?
and she walks in. So I didn't know this. So these dudes, she's like, "Hey, Jasmine's like, hey, what's up?" And she looks and she's like, "Hey," so like she played it off well. You know what I'm saying? She introduced me. They like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And so they looking at me, give me the. So I felt something. You know what I'm saying? That, the mentality kicks in. I'm like, niggas is ice grilling me from the side.
Yeah.
But one of the dudes was cool. He was like, I'm like, this nigga trying to play cool. So
Yeah.
what's going on here? Like, he bowling with me. Yeah, you talking shit. You from New York? I'm like, yeah, you talking. So I'm like, I see niggas from the side just grilling me. I'm like, something is not right with this situation. But I'm like, all right. But Jasmine said these are her boys. So they probably, I'm thinking maybe they on some protective shit.
Like they don't know who he
Like, you know what I'm
is.
saying? Who's this new nigga? Like,
Right.
so I'm like, okay. So we just had a good time. We chilled. Jasmine, didn't want me to pay anything for it. So every time I went to go pay for something, she would disappear.
Like I ran to go get me a Sprite because I didn't want him to pay.
yeah, I'm
Because
trying to be a gentleman.
I'm not used to people like paying for me or taking care of me. Like I'm the person who normally does that. So like
Girl,
even
I'm
him,
the total opposite. I'm like waiting. I'm like waiting on you to take out
with
the
a check,
card.
Like I'm thirsty.
I legit like when he was paying for the shoes, I was like, no, I got it. He was like, no, I got it. So he paid for the shoes, and then I was like, well, I'm about to go get me a Sprite, and he not gonna know. So I just like took off and ran and got me a Sprite. But we bowled, we had fun, and like I think on the way home, I told him like who the people were, and he was like, oh,
Makes
you
sense.
ain't tell me that.
I'm like, nigga, you almost got me jumped. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking in my mind, I gotta fight like 5-6 niggas. I'm like, man, you almost had me. And she's like, nah, it wasn't like that. We weren't really, we broke up, but he was on that shit. Whatever the case was. I'm like, damn. So you mean to tell me you almost had me fucked up?
Yep.
This is all I'm thinking. I'm out here, and I don't know where I'm at. And I'm like, she about to get me beat up.
Yeah, but they weren't that. They weren't that type
Yeah,
of people.
they
Like
weren't
we're
that
all
type.
friends now. Like
Yeah.
they love Barry.
Yeah, we cool.
But so I want to say like maybe 2 days later we were on another date and he asked me out. And in my head I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited. He my boyfriend. I got a boyfriend now. Took me home. I think we had our first kiss that night.
Probably.
Took me home. And then we were supposed to hang out the next day. December 20th.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, she remembered a date.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen.
How you
crazy
know
as
it's about to
fuck.
go down.
Ladies and
She
gentlemen.
remembered a date.
The problem with stuff like this is, as men, we don't have good memories, so we just take their word for it.
Y'all suck.
You know what I'm saying? It might have. I'm sure it's right.
You right,
I
bro.
can't say.
You
know,
right.
I don't remember what the hell I ate 2 days. You know what I'm saying? 2 days ago. I'm supposed to remember this shit, but proceed.
So, the very next day, he calls, and I'm thinking he about to get ready to tell me he on the way over. So he's like, yeah, I talked to my brother last night. I told him, I asked you out, and he was like, yo, Barry, what are you doing? Do you think you're rushing stuff? And so I thought about it, and I was like, maybe we shouldn't be together.
Oh,
You reneged.
And then literally after he said that, he goes, but we can still be friends
Oh
and hang
my
out.
God.
What? You blew it.
Yeah, I definitely reneged because in my mind it made sense.
Never mind.
And I was just like, you know what? I think I'm going a little too fast. You know, we was here for 2 weeks. I can't just do this. So I said, you know what? I'd rather just build this organically through relationship, and then we'll just see how things go, how it progresses. I'm not going to put titles on things. And I told her that. I'm like, I don't want to put title on things. I just want to just start with this friendship and just let it ride. For me, that made sense, and it put less pressure on us. And I just wanted her to, you know, understand that where I was coming from and just be understanding.
Did you understand?
But
No.
from Jazz's
Good.
perspective,
That's it.
She said she did. You know, so I took her word for it. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is he saying right now? and mind you, literally an hour later, he came to my best friend's house, Tiara's house, and he was trying to kiss me.
He
So
couldn't
I'm
get enough of you.
I'm like, how are we supposed to be being friends right now?
This isn't friend stuff.
Like, you just broke up with me like 2 hours ago, and now you trying to kiss me.
That
like,
wasn't.
what?
That's not. That for me. That wasn't really a break up. You know what I'm saying?
It was a soft break.
You said, let's be friends.
he was building.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm rebuilding. I said I went back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying? We had the blueprint, started building. I said, you know what?
This is
isn't-
gonna be a whole nother
This
conversation.
isn't right. Okay? I don't like the way these bricks look.
Let's take our time.
Let's try this.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Let's take our time.
Yeah, so that happened.
Start with a little drywall first. You know what I'm saying?
But so even with that, like we still were seeing each other every single day till I came home, went
you
to
went to
school. And then
You talked me into going out there.
I talked him into coming to see me.
Shit.
He came to see me, and he got sick. He was supposed to go to work the next day. His mom and his sister are calling like,
Where
you done
at?
came out there to go see this
Some
girl. You're not going to school, and you calling out of work. Like, they was through
Oh, my
with
God.
him, and they probably was like, who the fuck is this bitch that you
Yo,
missing all your shit?
My mom was about to go. She's like, you gonna miss work? You know what I'm saying? I got you. She got me the job.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
God.
But in my defense, I got sick.
He
I don't
literally
know.
got sick.
She
He had a
ordered
fever
some
and
pizza,
everything.
and I just felt crazy. I couldn't drive back. I'm shivering. You know what I'm saying? So I was really, really sick. You know what I'm saying, Mom? I really got sick. I wasn't out here trying to be fast or
It
whatever you
wasn't
want to
for
call
me.
it. You know, I wasn't out here just for the. You know, I got sick. I really did.
But so then I ended up having to leave school, and I came back home. And when I came back home, we just were always together. And then, like, eventually I started staying at his mom's house, and then we moved into an apartment, and now we're here. So, like, that's the fast forward version of how we got to where we are today. It was more interesting, and it's a little bit of rocks and tumbles in between there, but we'll save that for later.
Yeah. So, essentially, what y'all gather from this, she's really not my girlfriend because I never asked her back out.
Yeah.
We just been
What?
rocking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never. And then when we tell people that, they're like, "Wait, excuse me?"
Yeah.
Yeah. We never made nothing official. We just been
And-
rocking with each other for
So
10
wait,
years.
hold on.
Yeah.
Are you guys still friends?
Right. Well, no, we made it Facebook
So let's
official.
ask right now. What's the title?
First off, he just started calling me his girlfriend when he wanted to introduce me to his family in New York. I think we went home
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving one year.
Yeah. Introduced her
And
to
he
my
was like, "This is my girlfriend." And in my head, I'm like, "Oh, I'm your girlfriend?" Like, but not like, it wasn't like you can't call. Like, we obviously, people knew we were in a relationship and people knew we were together,
Yeah, 'cause
but we just
it
never.
would have felt weird for me to bring her to my family and be like, yeah, this is my friend Jasmine, and then she's just here saying, I'm like, this is kind of stupid, Barry. So you know what I'm saying? So I guess maybe that counts, but she
No.
didn't. It wasn't. She didn't accept. You know, it wasn't no
It wasn't,
exchange.
will you be my girlfriend?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So still to
Yes,
this
I'll be
day,
your girlfriend.
that never came up
Yeah.
again. So we just been rocking ever since then.
Well,
Our
technically-
anniversary is our Facebook official anniversary. So technically if you wanted to say December 19th would be our actual anniversary, but he broke up with me on the 20th. But then I think I made us Facebook official on the 1st, which
Yeah.
was so weird because we weren't calling each other boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, basically every way how you would broach a situation about,
we did the opposite.
we didn't do anything
And
alike.
I figured that for me was the best way because it's unorthodox. You know what I mean? People can't really understand, our relationship. So I figured that was cool. I'm like, I felt like this was something different, and it worked. You know, it was organic. Like we just built every day. We learned each other's emotions. You know what I mean?
I don't follow. I don't.
For me, it makes sense. You know,
I follow.
Yeah, my man.
Nigga, you better not follow.
I follow.
It made sense. You know what I'm saying?
You can't not be wife, so you good.
It didn't put any pressure on us in a relationship. We just said, you know what? We build with this friendship, and we just let the chips fall where they may. And, you know, it's difficult on a woman's part because it's an emotional thing, but I really wanted Jasmine to think logically in that sense, like, look, let's just see where this goes. You know what I'm saying? And
technically, y'all are common law married, so there's definitely a title.
Yeah, she brought that up years
technically,
in, but we didn't have that here, so she couldn't trap me. So I was like, ha ha, gotcha, you know. But you know, everything worked out. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I really felt like everything happened, you know, for a reason, and it was great. You know, I found somebody, and I really was been looking for somebody like this all my life. To the point I just, you know, really just, you know, enjoyed my company, just like to be with each other, hang out, and just really build a bond. I felt that was the most important thing that, you know, relationships really need. You need to have that bond for life. For me,
absolutely,
I felt like was way more important than love. You know what I'm saying? You love your brother, you love your sister. You could love somebody, but do you like them?
But I gotta like you to deal with you for the rest of my life.
Do you like them? Like that's for me was more important, and then she understood that later on. So
that's big.
Like later on, meaning like a year ago.
No, that's a lie. that's a lie.
Oh, she being shady.
No, I've given him his shit. Like I all the time. Like at one point, I think like when I was 23 or 24, I think 23, I gave him an ultimatum, and I was like, if we're not married by the time I'm 25, I'm leaving.
Wow.
I'm 29, still here.
You still here?
Because I think it came around, and I'm like, I'm not ready to be nobody's wife. Not at 25,
Yeah.
I wasn't. Like
I thought I was gonna be married at 25 too. I was like, I had it all planned. Like I was like, yep, gonna graduate, gonna be killing my career. I'll be married by 24. I'll have 2 kids by 30. Yeah, life doesn't happen that way.
it don't happen that way at all.
Which is great though.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm like so thankful that we
Life
didn't
is
go
how
down
it
that
is.
road. Yeah,
Hey, but I
exactly.
still got the ultimatum though.
No,
You got
I did
that?
not.
I got an ultimatum.
I did not give you a.
I was in New York.
He
she was
makes
in
me
Alabama.
sound like a bad person, and I'm
said-
not.
She said, so we've been dating long distance. At that time, it was like 7 years.
No, HD. We've only been together for 8 years. See, this is that number shit that the niggas don't remember.
So let's say, let's
Listen,
He might be
subtract-
counting from the second meeting.
Which meeting exactly?
What is time really? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Nigga, time is money
whatever.
around these parts.
That's right.
It was over 4 years.
Okay.
It was.
So I'm in New York. She in Alabama. She was like, nigga, what are we doing?
Damn.
She was like,
I needed to know. I needed answers.
yo, if we're not living together by next year,
No, HD, you are lying. I did not say all of that.
Listen,
No, what I said,
like,
Barry, this is what I said. I did not give him an ultimatum, but I made it very clear
In her
that I did
mind.
not want.
you drew a line. You drew a line in the sand. No.
No.
In her
and I
mind.
don't. No. And if you're a female out there listening to this, in order to be a wife, you have to like make it known that you want to be a wife. Like I told him, hold on, let me finish. I told him that I did not want to be a forever girlfriend. Like,
I done said that shit I don't know how many times.
but I made it very clear that like what are we doing? Because and it wasn't his fault. Like HD wanted the best for me, right? Like he was like, I want to do it when I'm ready. I want to be able to take care of you. And
actually, I really respected it. And that's why we here.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it was a
'Cause
push. It wasn't an
was a pu-
ultimatum.
It was
Take
an
it-
ultimatum,
Oh my goodness.
but it was a good ultimatum.
It was a
it
push.
forced me to grow the fuck up.
True.
It forced me to become a man. Just be like, all right, look, I said I wanted to spend the rest of my life with this woman. So what am I going to do about it?
Words mean shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I see when we say that. You know,
exactly.
take
What
that.
am I going to do about it? So that's why we here.
See, I respect that, And when I got
It
something
still
like
wasn't
that,
the ultimatum.
for
though.
me, I doubled down on it. Meaning, when Jasmine put the boxing gloves on, I put the Vaseline on and brass knucks.
But
All right, y'all. We back at it. Just another quick, brief intermission. You know,
We working
we busy.
professionals.
We working professionals, entrepreneurs. It's just things happen sometimes.
Client crisis.
Hours and a half just don't go as smoothly as possible.
Right.
But we rocking. Thank you for continuing to listen. But as I was saying, I just double down on things, and really just you could say call a bluff, so to speak,
yeah.
and just really see where it goes and see if they're really about that.
So while he was calling bluffs, I think very, very early on in the relationship, I told him I've always been the person to break up with people. I've never been broken up with. And he was saying that he's always been the person to be broken up with and never broke up with people. So we almost made a pact to each other. If we break up, he got to break up with me or I got to break up with him. So, but that we wouldn't do that. So, when I was giving him these quote unquote ultimatums about getting married or getting engaged or leaving me or whatever the case was, he would double down, but then I will always also come back well, then why don't you just leave me if you don't want to do it? And then obviously we're still here.
Yeah, I'll hit her with the look. If you're not happy here, you deserve better. Just go ahead and you can go get you better. Cause
You didn't really mean that, though.
I'm obviously, not what you need. And I'll just say, I'm not holding you hostage. That'd be selfish of me, I wouldn't do that. So, but it's entirely up to balls in your court, and that's just how I would play it.
Hoping that I wouldn't put the ball in my court and actually take it out.
I couldn't get mad at that because it's selfish for me to keep you in a situation that you're not happy, and I will want you to be happy ultimately. So
You hear this psychology
Yes,
bullshit?
that's a mind game.
Yeah.
That's not fair. That's
it sounded
leave
fair.
if you want.
It
but
sounds fair.
I'm gonna treat you so good. I don't want you to leave.
It sounds fair because it's obviously it's your decision ultimately. This is your life. You got to make decisions that affect your life.
But what's not fair though
Mm-hmm.
is that we don't stay with you guys because we just don't want to be by ourselves. We genuinely like you.
Hello.
So
'Cause
we
I
don't
was by
want to
myself for a
leave.
long
We just
time.
want you to man up and
Give
do
us
the
what
right
we
thing. Exactly. Be an honest man. Isn't that what they say?
Right. Make me an honest
But
woman.
hold on,
Yeah.
you don't think that was I was speaking honestly?
No, that's not. It's a saying.
Yeah, that's a Southern saying.
Yeah. They be make this. Matter of fact, your godfather or your uncle, Randy, said it. We went for Thanksgiving and they're like, oh, where do you live? And at this time we were living together, but I didn't know, if I was supposed to say that or not. But I said it and I was like, oh, we have an apartment together. And then he was like, oh, well, Bear, you know what you need to do.
You know what you need to do.
You need to make an honest woman out of her.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
He gets it from everybody, from my family. My mama, she done bought a wedding book. My friends, every other day we see her.
HD's all too familiar.
Yeah. And I get it. He's a lot better now than he used to be. Before he
I
was
laughed in their face.
yeah. And
Family's faces.
What you mean you laugh?
Yo, Barry, you
he
you
just bust
savage.
out laughing.
Y'all
Like
crazy.
that.
And they looking at me like, what's wrong with Barry?
Yeah.
All right.
He
Now
was-
just keep moving.
Yeah. Because he was very anti-marriage and stuff before. But
Are
now
you still anti-marriage?
No, I'm not as anti as I was. I grew up and just learned to understand a lot of things. Everybody's relationship is different.
Why were you
But,
anti-marriage?
I looked at a lot of people and pillars in my life that weren't successful in their marriages, and I felt that those type of things could take place. I'm like, man, that's it's such a tough thing. I don't want that to happen to me, so I'd rather just not really do it to really safeguard. Cause I've seen how marriages can really affect, you know what I mean, a kid, and really affect their psyche and how an outlook on things. And I see a lot of relationships, and I haven't seen that many successful ones. So it was really tough for me to really grasp and really try to say, I can do this and it can be, successful and not really fall in line around other people in my life that their marriage just went to shit. So now I'm trying to understand, like, you make your own path.
Everything's a choice.
Yeah, you learn from everybody else's mistakes. So I'm more so at ease with it. I came from a home that was broken, so that really had an effect on me, and being with a partner and how things can really affect a family. So it was really tough for me to really see myself going in that, making those type of steps in my life. So I figured the best thing for me to do was just
not.
Yeah, just to not, and just be with somebody. Just say, look, let's just be in love, man. Let's just stay in the matrix. You know what I mean? And just, be comfortable with that.
So let me ask you that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you about that. I keep hearing you say, like, let's just stay in the matrix. Let's not put a title on it. Like, does that not matter to you? For all of us, do titles matter? Go, Jazz. She looked like she got something real important to say.
Titles to me matter in the way of like respect and hierarchy, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like, a girlfriend has her place in your life, something separate from what a wife does. Like, right now, even though like we share a household and finances and stuff like that, like, I still feel as a girlfriend, there's things that I can't ask him, or I can't be like, you can't do that. I don't have that right because I'm not your wife.
Absolutely.
So that's where the importance of titles is for me. And then also, like, what girl, well, I won't say what girl because I've met women who just didn't even want to be married before too. So, but for me, I used to want to be a wedding planner because I wanted to like relive a wedding every day. Because I just thought they were so beautiful, and like what love meant from like the fairy tale standpoint of it, like seeing it on TV growing up and all that kind of stuff. And like I didn't have like the best example in my household either of like what love and marriage and all that kind of stuff looked like. But I think I took it more so and learned for what I wanted it not to be.
Right.
So
you had a different response.
I had a different response and a different idea of it. And I think also growing up in the South, like you just know, like you're supposed to get married. Like,
yeah,
you supposed to do that. Like, so, I don't know. I think it's important. It's a bond. I do also now kind of see the business aspect of it, even though I hate that. But yeah.
HD, do titles matter to you?
Absolutely.
Why?
I think there is a definite business aspect to it. I think if you treat it like a good business, it'll flourish. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to build an empire with somebody. I think that was like what I guess our founding fathers meant for the business aspect of marriage to be. So I definitely respect titles. When I'm a boyfriend, I'm your daddy. But when I'm your husband, I'm your husband. You know what I'm saying? It's a different level. It's a different level of respect. And a girlfriend and a wife can't compete. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So titles definitely matter to me.
Anyone want to ask me?
Trina, what do you think, honey?
Titles absolutely fucking matter. Ladies and gentlemen, for the fucking record, this is absolutely, I hate when I hear females saying, and guys, Barry's like boiling over here. Just so y'all know, he's like steaming right now. He might turn red.
This is the part where
titles absolutely fucking matter. And if you say they don't, you are completely bullshitting. So I absolutely, that's my biggest pet peeve, I think. I hate when people say, like, let's not put a title on it. Like, what's understood don't need to be explained. That's a fucking lie. Like, stop lying to yourself. Because I guarantee, Jazz, Barry, HD, like, Barry, if me and you started a multimedia company today, you wouldn't walk into that situation and say, let's just do this shit. let's just split the bill. We don't have to sign and say who's the CEO or who's the COO. You wouldn't do that, right? You would absolutely want to know what your role is in that company.
For me, at the beginning, not understanding the dynamic of partnerships, I was always the type
No.
of, oh.
I'm not asking about that. I'm asking a question now.
Oh,
if we started a
okay,
multimedia company,
now.
and I said, Barry, you dope. Let's work together. You wouldn't say like, okay, I'll do whatever you want me to do. You would want to know your role.
Yeah, now.
You would want to know all of the things that your job description requires, and that's how relationships should be. Also, you don't just go into a business with somebody and say, yeah, we'll just split the bill 50-50 and we'll just do the work 50-50 and it don't matter if my name ain't on the papers or not. Like, that shit really matters. And it should be outlined in your relationship so that you know and you don't get your feelings so tied up into something that's not even for you in the first place. Mm-hmm. And that's why titles matter. Because if you don't put a I've always been like that. Like, even when I was dating in high school, like, I'm like, what am I? Because I don't want to let my guard down. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like so in love and infatuated with you, and you just playing games with me. And I feel like that's why so many women get caught up in so much like relationship drama today, because it's like, yeah, what's understood don't need to be explained. No, that shit needs to be explained.
And I need to know what it is.
You need to know what it is so that you'll know how to guard yourself and how to like let your guard down. So, thanks for asking if I...
We should have saved you for last.
Thanks for asking if I care and if I think relationship titles matter, because they do.
I think you pose a great point, Trina, and I
understand. I understand the concept of like, let's take it slow, let's get to know each other, and I think that's cool for dating, like for courting that person. But once it gets to the point where you, like how you were with Jazz, where you had to see her every day and you couldn't go, 24 hours without talking to her, well, it's evident that there's something there. And that's when you need to address the fact that, hey, what are we? It's cool when we just kicking it, right? But if it gets beyond kicking it, you need to talk about these titles, because clearly y'all are solidifying some type of business together. And y'all need to know what your roles and responsibilities are in this working relationship.
Now
I think Facebook gave us our titles.
Yes.
When he accepted me as his girlfriend on Facebook, that was it.
My thing is about titles. I didn't feel that I needed to put that out there to gain validation from other people. Like, all right.
And you don't.
No, and so hear me out. I feel that through the course of time, Jasmine was talking about having say. She worked hard, you know what I mean, and showed me a lot to have say, even though she feels that by law she don't have it. No. To me, in my heart, you've earned all of that trust. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. And when I say things if you have an opposing view, I respect that, and I can change mine, and say, you know what you're saying is 100% better, you know what I'm saying, than what I want to do. I'm going to go with that. And some dudes, they don't free that. And I feel through that time, I've done that, and it seems to be better that way for me. But titles really put because we have a framework in this country and across the world that you have to put this out there for it to be
and
so.
That's the problem.
But for me, and if it's in your mind that you may feel this, that I feel that's more powerful. But if you need the paper, fine.
But that's the thing, Barry. It's not really about the paper, right? Like, if I'm in partnership with you for our multimedia company, I'm going to just keep using this for an example.
But I don't want to put a business to a relationship. I don't want to.
But it's absolutely a business. Because you're building a legacy with somebody.
When I brought up business before to Jasmine, she didn't want to feel like a business. She wanted to feel like something more. So what is it? You can't have both, and you can't have something can't be the same and different. So it has to be cut and dry. A business has to be a business. A relationship has to be a relationship. Let this be a relationship. Let the emotions flow.
I agree.
We can't just chop it and just say, well, it's some gray. It's not gray. The black and white. Is this going to be black? It's going to be white. Let's be black. Don't throw gray in here just because emotions got involved. Let's stick in the emotion side
But
of it.
what I'm confused on is like why so many people get caught up on the fact that they think titles associate themselves with the outside world, because it shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't, but it is.
No. But that's what I'm saying. I feel like we make that an issue. Like if you tell me, if HD said, Trina, I want you to be my girlfriend, and we put a title on it, right? We're in a relationship. That's really just for us. I feel like society has made it.
That's great.
Society has made it about the outside world. Example with Facebook. Now we in a relationship on Facebook.
Exactly.
You know, like, but if we got back to the root of
we
it,
should, as we should.
It's a
but
title.
why does like you say? Then why do we have to be Facebook official? You guys put that on there. Guys don't care about that. If you with me, HD, like you know what I'm saying, y'all together. You don't care nothing about Facebook and how the world views you. That's between y'all two. That's y'all connection. Why do we have to put it out there in the universe like that to say, oh, they have to know? They don't have to know shit to me. I don't want nobody in my business outside of, you know, my close friends. But I don't care what this person is. If me and person have this connection, let it be that. It doesn't have to be out there in the universe. I feel female body needs that.
But I agree with you 1,000%. But I still think that titles should be discussed in the relationship. That's what I think.
Granted,
that's what I'm saying.
And that's what
like,
I respect what you're saying. And I agree.
What are we? Where are we going with this? Not necessarily saying you got to post the shit on Facebook and you know we got to be Facebook friends now. We got to do all that stuff. That's extra. But I think titles should definitely be important and valued in relationships.
Definitely.
And that would be a lot of the answers to all of these confusing ass, what are we, you know, we just messing around with multiple people because nobody's addressed the fact that y'all are low-key in a relationship.
Yeah, I get it now.
So when do you think, or what time frame do you think titles should come into play?
After y'all stop kicking it. Like, I totally understand the get to know you, let's not put a title on it. That makes perfect sense to me when you're just getting to know each other. But once you get to that phase where Barry and Jazz was, where you can't, or like we were, where you dropping hundreds of dollars to see this person.
Facts.
And you running out of gas trying to find a BP, you know, like that's serious. And you need to solidify whatever that situation is. But it's different when y'all just, you know, going to hang out or when y'all are casually around each other. That's different. That's legit kicking it.
I think was like for us, we've always kicked it. Like we've never, like we've been friends, but we've always like, it's always been like the same. Like I feel like we've always had the same bond. We've always kind of like, cause I always say like we're like one and the same. Like he's like, we're both Cancers, if anybody believes in that kind of stuff, but we're both Cancers. Like I think we're each other's equal half, like legit. Like we, in this 10 years, I think we've like probably argued like maybe 4 or 5 times, like a legit argument, if that. Like we just,
I don't think that much.
Yeah, like we've always just been like this. So I don't think,
and that's the nature of who y'all are.
Yeah,
genuinely.
just us. And so I think even when we were just kicking it and we didn't have titles and stuff like that, like we were still telling, like, I think before I came back from school, like we had told each other we loved each other. Like, and it was funny because Barry was like, I'm going to say something, but you don't have to say it back. And so.
I didn't come out like that.
You did.
No, you said it first?
What happened?
He said it first.
This is how it went. I said,
time.
I said, I was getting ready to leave. And I said, I said I love you, but I stumbled.
I like you a lot.
You know, I got a lot of love for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how it came out.
And then he left.
And then I bounced. I said, oh shit, I done fucked up. You know what
And
I'm
I'm
saying?
on cloud 9. I'm walking back in the house like, he just said he loves me.
I thought I caught it and mixed it. I got a lot of love for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I kept it. And thought, you know, it's helped like that. I'm like, you know what? She got it. She got what I meant. And I didn't want to go too far. Then I started drowning myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what?
Just let it be.
Let me take a step back.
But then after that, like we talked about saying we love each other to each other because like we weren't like in a relationship or
Right.
whatever. So we were just kind of like, you know, I don't know. It's almost like we were friends telling each other like we love each other, but like neither one of us were like seeing other people or like,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
true.
I think it just kind of like naturally flowed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then it just became what it is today. It's just, we joke about we're just like really good friends with benefits.
Yeah, we do it all the time.
So, I don't know. Yeah.
It's just a, you know, it's just relationships. So it's a tricky thing. I just feel that as dudes, it's just it's tough. You know,
It's a slower
it's a slow
process for you
process
guys.
because it's you know,
Much slower.
just getting our emotions right. You know what I mean? And it's just it's a tricky thing. And if you're not in tune with yourself, and see, I think I believe this. Like if a guy hasn't got to himself personally and built himself to a, you know, his own level, he can't really take that
I
step.
agree with that.
You know, and for me, I felt that I needed certain things to prove myself as a man to say, look, I can take these steps with you because I've built myself up to my highest point. You know what I'm saying? Mentally. And I'm like, you know what? I know I can provide, I can do X, Y, and Z. And I feel when I got to that level, all right, I know I can take this step now and be successful because I've seen other people and I'm like, you know, I'm doing this right. I'm not doing this. I brought this to the table. You know what I'm saying? Now, I feel I can do that, and I'm sure HD can attest to that.
Yeah, you know, I personally believe it's like a double-edged sword. So, like a guy, just like I would tell Trina, I would just be like, yo, I want to marry you now. I just have to be financially ready. That's what I will always tell Trina that.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, when me and Trina got married, I wasn't financially ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not financially ready. You know what I'm saying? I think the process of building something with that great magnitude together is more important than anything. You know, the process of learning how to deal with finances with somebody else is important. You can't learn that shit by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to be like the great businessman. I'm going to have like companies and shit like that. Yeah, you can be that man, but when you get to a relationship and you get married, you still got to learn other shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You might be used to doing shit by yourself so much that when you get to a relationship, you might be clashing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
you don't. I know a lot of females like that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think the importance of just being together and building something is highly important.
It's more important than being ready.
Right, right. Because truthfully, nobody's
You're
really
you're never
ready
ready.
to get
I
married.
hear that all the
You know,
time. All the time.
Nobody's really
More than ever. I hear
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying? More than ever. I'm like,
Shout out to the stewards.
You know what I'm
If
saying?
y'all listen to this.
yo, shout out to the Stewart, especially Mr. Stewart. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
So, with that, I think that kind of brings us to like what the purpose of what we're doing and what we're doing, what all of that is. Just from this little conversation, there's things I would like to like dive more into, but I feel like not only like us, there's plenty of other people out there, even if they haven't been together as long as we have, or if they're not.
Even if you single and want to get ready for a relationship.
Yeah, like I
Facts.
think there's things you should know and learn and I guess have an outlet to listen to or talk about or ask questions to. And like for us, especially for me, which is ironic, like my whole life, like friends have always come to me for advice about stuff. And I used to be the single friend. Like I was the perpetually single friend, like, or either like I was always getting cheated on or like some stupid stuff like that. So, but like my friends would still always come to me for advice, I guess, cause I'm like level headed. Maybe, I don't know why. Love y'all. But so, now, like, I have friends that come to me for like relationship advice and stuff. Like, what would you do with this, and what would you? Because they've seen the change in me from our relationship,
Right.
and just like how I am as a person on my own from what I've learned going through a relationship and learning another person and learning myself through like these almost 10 years. That's crazy. I can't even believe that.
Shit
Like,
crazy, man.
I don't.
Decade.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I don't
I
even.
don't even know where the time went.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, not that I didn't think today would be here, but like when you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
when today is here, it's like this is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow. Like I'm not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
But so this is our outlet for that. It sounded like somebody was coming in the door, didn't it?
Just a second, but we could.
This is our outlet for that. You know, like lending an ear or some advice or some funny stories of like how we got through some trying times or
Trying times, y'all. We done been through it all.
yeah,
Nigga.
Listen.
yeah. So that's what this is. I think for me, it's important to be not the voice, but like a voice or like an example or to show like, you know, everything ain't peaches and cream. It might look amazing on the
Exactly.
outside, but we got our own shit to deal with too.
Same.
Hence the name of the podcast. You know what I mean? Things, you know, always looks good. People want to put, you know, these high presidents, you know, on relationships and, oh, we're talking about goals. Look at them. I said, look, man, these people look Jay-Z, Beyonce, they crushing it. I said, look, man, that shit ain't what you think you
Smoke
see.
and mirrors.
You know what I'm saying?
That
It
shit
may
take
not be
work.
that shit
Smoke
is work.
and-
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You don't know
And you
what
can't just
happened.
believe everything that you see.
Right.
And that's what I think it is for me. Like, I feel like every day people are looking at stuff because all of this content comes to us so fast. Media comes so fast, right? And we want to be all of this stuff, but nobody's really saying like, okay, let's do the work, right?
Right.
And honestly, for real, we just need more representation of young Black couples in love actually doing this shit and figuring this shit out together because it's not easy. Like,
Right.
and we really just want to be great. Like, we want to make it. And love is a choice. Like, relationships
Definitely.
are a choice.
Definitely.
So every day we wake up choosing to deal with these motherfuckers.
Right. Y'all
Because-
get on our nerves.
Because we like you
Vice
and
versa.
we love you. So,
We choosing to make the right choices.
Man.
We
yes.
choosing not to be out in these streets fucking with these
Man.
dots.
Yes. It's a choice.
This is
Y'all choosing not to get killed.
now we talking about that. Now we talking about that.
Now we talking about that.
We just got threatened out here. For real.
Oh, yeah. So that's what it is for me. What is
Yeah.
it for you, Barry?
Oh man, I just feel like this is a great opportunity to open the table and just, you know, let people learn from one another, you know, and just really get a lot of questions answered. Some people, you know, certain topics they may feel certain couples don't talk about certain things. You know, I just feel you got to learn from other people. You know,
Absolutely.
Everybody's relationship is unique, but when you see other people go through certain things, you realize you're not that different.
Right.
You know,
Right.
now, I don't want to say, you know, I don't want this to come off, for lack of a better word. You're not that special in the sense that you may be going through this, but it's millions of other people that's going through the same thing
Or
Right.
worse.
or worse
Right.
that, you know, got through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't just say,
You're not the
look,
first one. You're not gonna be the
And they
last.
don't just go through say, you know what, it's over. And another statistic, and most importantly, you know, people go through relationships and they have young children. I feel, you know, being a kid that grew up in that kind of situation, it has a huge effect and impact on the next generation because they don't have a template to see.
Right.
You know, women don't grow up understanding what love from a man should be, and they out here in these streets chasing
Yep.
love.
Yep.
And they think it's love him, but he's just, you know, doing whatever. And the man that's getting love from a woman doesn't know how to express, you know what I'm saying, his emotions to a woman, and doesn't also know how to be a man. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I feel those things are needed to help, you know, home, especially in our Black community. They need that. People need to see that. And I feel that, you know, being that what we have, I feel we can create that and put that out there in the universe. And if it's just one ear at a time hearing this and say could relate, we not perfect, we not, the gospel on relationships, but I feel we all have a viewpoint that we can put out there and people can relate to, even if it's just a small group. That small group could pass on to somebody else, and it could just be a chain reaction. And I feel that we could put a stamp on this and just start changing lives, because that could be what this is about. It could be our calling. This could be the next big thing, and we just start, touching people one step at a time. What you think, HD?
Yeah, this is what love, like, unfiltered. The shit takes work.
Yeah.
Shit is hard.
That's the hashtag. Love unfiltered.
Hell, I like it.
The shit, you gotta really work at this. If you really want it to be successul, like, the cliche statement, they made Honda Civics in 2 weeks? And they make Bentleys in 6 to 8 months, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the Bentley, you know what I'm saying? You gotta spend the time to, get to know one another, get to know each other's weaknesses and strengths, and build on everything. You know what I'm saying? So this is work. We just come to show what work is.
Yeah.
Right.
Do the work.
Do the work.
And
Do the
this
work.
is
Not your relationship goals.
Hashtag. You know what I'm saying?
That was so lame,
episode
right?
1.
Y'all get the gist.
Y'all
Yeah,
get the
you
gist.
get it. You get it.
So tune in. This will be weekly. It won't be, I don't even know how many hours this is. This was our episode 0.
We had a lot of shit to say.
Had a lot of stuff to say. Wanted to introduce ourselves to y'all. We're also all entrepreneurs, and we work 9 to 5s, and we
real.
have very busy
We
schedules.
are the hustlers of the year.
So
straight up.
We're also covering how that works. Like HD and Trina, they're newlyweds and they're working 9 to 5s and being entrepreneurs and traveling all the time, and having that first year lust build on and all that kind of stuff, and
Getting
then
to know each other, getting in a groove, paying bills together.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, life is happening at full speed.
and
It's
then
real.
Barry and I were dating in a relationship, but we just bought our first house together. And I think, we bought our house right before you guys got married.
The wedding. Yep.
So we're all still in a year of change for our relationship.
Definitely.
So
Big changes.
this could not have come at a better time.
Yeah.
And with better people.
With better people.
Word.
So y'all are really gonna learn and grow with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because we don't know what the fuck we doing.
What? On a
Listen.
day-to-day basis.
But we doing it together.
Listen.
Doing it.
And that's all that matters.
Right. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think, what you want us to talk about. We'll have an email for y'all, but
Yeah, we'll open the floor up.
Most of the time, people just text or comment or something and hey,
Yeah.
talk about this. But and eventually we'll be live so you can see our faces, because you definitely have to see how Trina stares at HD when he's talking
man.
and hangs on every word.
That's a fact.
And the same here. I'm excited to have Barry actually on the mic and not
Oh,
behind
shit.
it, and for people
She wants,
to.
she want to hear. She wants the world.
Y'all need to hear him
She
talk
wants
his
the world
shit.
to see something else, another side.
It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out.
She want people to
It
see.
almost came out when I started talking about titles.
She wants that other stuff that I
Barry
like.
had steam coming out of his ears.
She likes the other stuff that comes out, and I'm just like, all right, this is what you want. We go. If it's entertaining, fuck it.
He started talking crazy, but it makes sense. It makes sense, and sometimes you don't want it to make sense. But you guys will see, because everybody loves Barry.
So
What you say? That's how you got her, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
But no, this is going to be fun. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited to listen, and you guys are excited to take this journey with us.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be dope.
So yeah, stay tuned.
On that note, we'll be back next
Next week.
Peace.
We out.
Bye.